Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Sally Lemus. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. The island's only trade school celebrates a milestone. Also tonight, officials speak on the medical referral matter. And the head of Power and Water appears before lawmakers. In sports, when it comes to contenders, round up the usual suspects. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
You are everything that matters to me, and I promise to do whatever it takes to keep you healthy, to be comfortable, and to be free. I love you. As long as we're together, I'll always make sure that home will always be our best place to breathe.
I got my COVID-19 vaccine. How about you?
Aku also COVID-19 also.
Esta usually COVID-19 vaccine za aku.
I did it for my kids.
I did it for my friends.
I did it for my family.
I did it for you.
I did it.
Just do it.
Do it for us.
Let's do it together.
And there you have it, McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. From the makers of the world's most stolen fries. The juicy chicken sandwich from the place that offers extra napkins for a reason. The tender chicken sandwich from the creators of a sandwich phenomenon. So you won't just be biting into a chicken sandwich, you'll be biting into McDonald's new crispy, juicy, tender chicken sandwich. Ba-da-da-ba-ba.
Half a day to the WAMI and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is September 27, 2021. The head of the island's utility testified today in front of a House committee. CUC's Gary Camacho today was asked questions about the utility account of Governor Torres. The House has CUC billings that show thousands of dollars in monthly water usage at the governor's residence, and it appears that a lot of that water was going to a piggery that may be owned by a sibling. Here's some sound from today's hearing.
Prior to the recess, we were discussing the multiple counts under the Governor Ralph DeLong Guerrero Torres, registered in his name, that were being paid for by CNMI taxpayers, including an account registered in the name of Miss Judy Marie Torres, his sister. Records so far entered as exhibits have revealed that payments into these accounts include a piggery, a garage, and an outside kitchen, aside from the governor's residence in his Esteo property. So at this time, we will continue with the questionnaires.
I don't know who owns the pig,
okay,
but recently, we've made an adjustment on the account based on a request by Governor Torres back in November of 2019, when he called and said that the water usage seems to be extremely high.
I'm trying to get this straight so we can get this. So Mr. Jack Torres is the brother of Governor Torres. Is that correct?
That's my understanding. Yes.
And he owns the piggery.
I don't know who owns the piggery.
Well, the piggery that's there, the meter that's paying for the water now is under his name. Is that
under Mr. Torres? Yeah, Jack. Yes.
Mr. Jack. Yes. So we can assume from this that he is taking responsibility for paying for the water now. Is that correct?
Yes, he is responsible for that account.
Prior to the subpoena, prior to any of this, all the time that the piggery existed, and it includes dating back to some pretty extraordinary, outstanding water bill, a $16,000 water bill for 1 month, for example. This piggery existed. Is that correct?
I think so.
Yes. Okay. From this, it is our understanding that essentially it was the government was footing the bill for this piggery. Is that correct?
It was under the, yes, it was under the governor's account. Yes.
Right, under the governor's account, which means that it ultimately was the government that was paying for the piggery.
Yes, the payments that were coming in were applied to the usage off of that meter.
Okay, I just wanted that clarification. Thank you. I yield.
Now, if I may, again, just for clarification, in November of 2019, I was informed by the governor of that large usage, and if we can look into it and understand where that had transpired from and how to address it.
Inmates may soon be able to take classes at NMTI. Local officials gathered at Lower Base this morning to celebrate the milestones of the Commonwealth's only trade school.
The Northern Marianas Technical Institute held a kickoff ceremony this morning to recognize the hard work and achievements the school has reached in the last 6 months. Governor Ralph Torres, Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios, cabinet members, legislators, and government officials all in attendance. The school went through a transition of its original status of a trades institute to a technical institute back in August of 2020, with that many changes brought to the school from curriculum to personnel. Jodina Attow is the current NMTI CEO.
When we talk about NMTI and their milestones, the past 6 months has been a really tough and tedious journey, but we've been able to overcome all the obstacles.
Representative Layla Staffler, who heads the House Committee on Education, was present during many transition conversations. She says a lot has changed, and though there are still unresolved matters, she celebrates with NMTI in honoring the milestones.
The concerns then are very different than what's happening right now. Like, what this is an affirmation in the community outreach to ensure that these programs continue. They are not exactly the same, but sometimes change is good. And so I know that there were still concerns maybe about some other issues that might not be resolved, but that's something that, you know, will go in time. But it's not affecting what this is today.
In the ceremony, NMTI and the Northern Marianas Housing Corporation signed an agreement to make official the Trade School Workforce Development Training Scholarship Program, which will be for construction trades. Department of Corrections also present as well for a MOA signing, which will allow inmates to take classes at NMTI.
They're excited because it's going to benefit them if they get out. At least we're preparing them for the society, and they'll be able to find jobs when they get out with all the trainings that they received. Because at the end of the training, they'll be receiving certificates of completion of whatever they're being trained on.
Governor Torres says the Institute will continue to have support from the administration.
The funding is there if they need it. I will continue to give them more funding as they need to move forward. I've dedicated some properties for them to build a state-of-the-art facility. I just spoke to the chairman. We're going to get up to date on that, the status of that project and how much the funding. I believe they also got, I think, a $10 or $13 million to build the facility. I may be off a little bit, but altogether there's fundings for this. We want to build a state-of-the-art and look at what CNMI needs in workforce for the next 10, 15 years. I know construction is definitely one of it, and so I look forward to that.
NMTI began classes in August of this year. They continue to accept registration from those who are interested. School officials would like to remind the public you do not need a high school diploma to enroll. There are currently less than 50 enrollees, but numbers are expected to go up with the help of the CNMI Youth Congress for outreach efforts.
The CNMI Medical Referral Program goes over their budget once again. According to an audit report from the Office of the Public Auditor, the CNMI Medical Referral Services Office has spent $27 million over their budget in the fiscal years 2018 to 2019. In the past, hospital officials have requested for more funding from the legislature. House Speaker Edmund Villagomez addresses the issue.
I want to get more of a look into it, but yes, the medical referral is always hard to appropriate for. In the past, I've always introduce amendments when it comes to the budget and whatnot to give more than what was proposed. But even with that, it's always unpredictable. So the amount that's always needed is always a moving target. It'd be nice if we can give a lot more.
Currently, Representative Tina Sablan introduced a bill that would create a CNMI Qualified Medical Travel Assistance Program. The legislation would cease operations when they've exhausted the original appropriations and additional funding is needed.
I know we're working on different things. Representative Tina Sablan did introduce that bill to help out with the situation, and I know the administration, CHCC likewise are finding ways to stabilize it. It's really difficult, but hopefully with the legislation from Representative Tina and the other efforts that, something gets done positively and try to get rid of this deficit.
Governor Torres states his priority is the health care of the people.
Our patients that needs to be sent, and if we need to incur more fund deficit, then I'm willing to take that risk. Ultimately, we're already putting, I believe, close to $9 million, $10 million through the ARPA fund to upfront the medical referral program. I hope through communication with Esther that we're able to provide better services here so that the medical referral program patients don't have to leave Ove Island. That'll cut on the airfare cost, of course, lodging and food. So if we're able to cut half of that in 1 year, that'll save us in the long run and also provide services here.
Coming up, will the CNMI be able to defeat a government shutdown? Stay tuned.
Green sea turtles and hawksbill turtles call the Mariana Islands home. They are an important part of the marine ecosystem. They are under threat, and they are protected under CNMI law. Keep plastic out of the ocean. Keep vehicles off the beach. Use the Sea Turtle Stranding Hotline if you see poaching activities or if you see a turtle in trouble. Call 287-8537 and save a turtle. One of the best things you can do during the pandemic is to get yourself healthy and strong. Gold's Gym is a great place for a tune-up. Wide open workout spaces with dedicated cardio, free weights and machines, personal training, group exercise, and good nutrition. Short-term daytime promo on sale now, just $159 for 3 months. Call 233-4000.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. We speak more with Governor Torres, who says a budget will be signed into law before the deadline. There are 3 more days left for the governor to sign a budget into law for fiscal year 2022. Torres states meetings have already taken place and more are being lined up.
Well, I met with OMB, met with Finance this morning. I spoke to the AG, so hopefully in the next couple of days, we will be able to sit down with all our entities. We'll be able to sign something before the end of the year, end of the fiscal budget. So For sure, we'll be signing something on, by September 30. But again, I hope the legislature we give our part in turning the budget in April 1st, making an amendment by July. I hope that they, act on it much sooner and prioritize this budget so that we have ample time to look into all of this budget in more thorough. Not that we're not going to, but we don't need to spend midnight oil to address the budget.
The case of a man facing federal drug charges in the state of Idaho reveals that some of those drugs are being smuggled into Guam. KUAM reports.
Hafaday Sinamay, here's what's making news on Guam. An heir to a multi-million-dollar fortune pleads guilty to drug charges in a federal court in the state of Idaho. What does this have to do with Guam? According to the court documents, some of those drugs were being smuggled to Guam and Palau.
He was born into poverty, but later elevated to millionaire status after years of litigation, which ultimately confirmed he was one of several heirs to the late billionaire Larry Hillblum, the co-founder of shipping company DHL. Hillblum was a resident of Saipan. He died in a plane crash in 1995. After his death, several women alleged he fathered their children. After years of trying to establish paternity, it was confirmed that Larry Hillblum Jr. was in fact his son. Hillblum was living the high life, but not in a good way. In 2005, in Guam, he was busted for drugs. In 2017, he was charged with drug trafficking in Palau. In June of last year, Hillblum was indicted in the District Court of Idaho, along with Morgan Kenny and Sean Robert Wathan, for conspiracy to distribute methamphetamine. Later that same year, in October, a superseding indictment included Zachary Craig Carlson in the conspiracy. On September 1st of this year, Hillblum signed a plea agreement. In that plea agreement, he admits that in the summer of 2015 through February 2016, he was involved in an organization which distributed meth. He and other co-conspirators would transport meth from North Idaho to Guam and Palau through international airports. They would conceal a mixture and substance containing meth in varied ways, either on their person or in their luggage, and pass through airport security. Once in Guam and Palau, the co-conspirators would meet with them and other local contacts, providing them with the drugs so that it could be distributed. Although his plea agreement left out some of the intricacies of the drug conspiracy, the sentencing memo filed involving co-defendant Morgan Kenny provided more details about this multi-million-dollar drug ring. Kenny, it turns out, is his younger half-brother. He moved from Palau to live with his brother Hillblum in Hope, Idaho, when he was 21 years old. He is now 35 and admitted to being involved in the drug conspiracy with his brother. He admitted he traveled at least 3 times to Guam and Palau to sell drugs. Court documents reveal that his brother's trip was part of several others involving multiple people in Hillblum's network. For this particular conspiracy, Hillblum allegedly bought a total of 108 pounds of meth from 2 suppliers in Washington. He traveled over 25 times along with co-conspirators to and from Palau and Guam, where he would sell the 108 pounds of meth for $24.5 million. Hillblum is scheduled to be sentenced in the U.S. District Court of Idaho before Judge B. Lynn Windmill on February 28, 2022.
And during a Thursday meeting of the Commission on Post-Mortem Examinations, Attorney General Levin Camacho announced that several applications were submitted and rated eligible for the Chief Medical Examiner's position. AG Camacho and Guam Medical Society Dr. John Titano were appointed to the search committee. They are tasked with interviewing and submitting recommendations to the Commission at its next meeting, set for October 15th. Despite recruitment efforts, the position has remained vacant since the retirement of former CME Dr. Ariello Espinola in 2018. Services have continued through 3 separate contracts with the Guam Memorial Hospital Authority for a pathologist in Saipan and a pair of forensic pathologists out of Hawaii. Stay informed 24/7 by checking out KUAM.com or downloading the KUAM News app available for iOS or Android. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tomas Manglotnya.
Thank you. Coming up at the KSPN Sports Report next, issues. Yeah, we have issues. Doesn't everywhere?
For the different beats of your life, we're here to keep you connected the way you want it. Plans made for you, by you. Build your own bundle with Link. Select the internet, entertainment, mobile, and home phone plans that fit your lifestyle. Pay for what you want, not for what you don't. Build your own bundle and save with Link.
Enjoy September with our Smoothie of the Month, specially priced at $5.50. Blueberry meets mango, and the results are healthy and delicious. Bananas and strawberries are also joining the party along with cinnamon and granola. It's the Smoothie of the Month at Gold's Gym, specially priced at $5.50. Fast food that's good for you too. Gold's Gym, you're a fan.
I got my COVID vaccine. How about you?
আমার আছে কোভিড-19 টিকা আপনার আছে কি
ได้รับวัคซีนโควิด -19 แล้วนะคะแล้วคุณล่ะคะได้รับวัคซีนหรือยัง
Tapos na po ako magpa-COVID-19 vaccine. Kayo naman po. Tapos na rin ba?
I did it. I did it for you.
Do it. Do it for us.
I did it for my friends. I did it for my family.
I did it for my daughter.
Let's do it together.
The Tan Su Lin Foundation promotes the culture of giving back. The foundation and its generous partners are committed to supporting programs that include health, education, and sports. Initiatives that promote arts and culture, the environment, and tourism will benefit our community and our residents. Giving back and making a difference will help ensure that the island paradise we call home will be a better place to live.
Tonight's sports brought to you in part by Tan Holdings through the Tan Su Lin Foundation, making communities a better place to live. Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, for us the next big thing is the Pacific Mini Games. Over 2,000 people expected to arrive, the biggest thing we've ever hosted. Earlier this month we did host a couple of Oceania National Olympic Committee members who raised two significant issues. When watching the Olympics, one cannot but be impressed with the devotion and excellence of women's athletics these days. Countries take great pride and expense in developing their elite athletes. Joey Miranda points out that Oceania in general lacks the ability to get their female athletes up to the next level.
A struggle for many of us, particularly the women. It's hard to keep them in sport. And so I don't think it's just an issue here. I know it's not just an issue here, but throughout our region, we all have the same issues, you know. There's no difference between Fiji, Guam, and the CNMI when it comes to trying to pull people to compete and keeping them there and moving them up to the next level. It's not easy, and it takes a lot of persistence, a lot of commitment for anyone in sport to get to the next level, especially for us.
Another issue, the importance of good governance. That's the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, which will be on full public display as these games are aired on television and the internet.
One of the things we're also doing with the national federations is getting them to see the benefits that hosting the games will bring, not just the sports sector, but the country in general, and what this will, particularly when you're going through COVID now, and the challenges we've had to navigate. So this is really an opportunity to showcase what NMI has to offer, not just sports, but all other areas of the economy. And then also, Mr. Chan was talking to us yesterday about the tourism opportunities that have opened up. So this is Like Japan, the navigating the games was interesting. There were a lot of lessons learned. We take those learnings, as Mimi said, into other areas that we're involved in, obviously COVID. So this is going to be, all eyes will be on CNMI, on Saipan, as you host the games.
And we will be following that story for the next 9 months, I assume. All right, coming up, this story is about girls volleyball. You know, the season is heating up faster than the MHS gym on a sunny afternoon. MHS gym floor a little slippery after all that rain. Would the Geckos slip up? SIS 1 undefeated, serving to undefeated GCA 1. The Geckos get off to the good start. These two rivals always among the championship contenders. The setup to the outside hitter, point for the Eagles. They do return two of their key players from last year's championship squad, Catriel Saros and Agent Elliott. Sometimes the Eagles earn their points, sometimes they take what's given to them. Hey-Jin loves the right side, and that's laying down the hammer there. Catriel, one of the best servers in the league, as SIS discovers the hard way. Oops, the floor still a little slippery, and so are SIS chances. GCA 1 takes this game 25-15, 25-5. MHS 1 has some big hitters too. They're showing their stuff against Cagman High School. Bam! Dolphins deliver. Juju didn't know what hit him. MHS 1 pounds the Juju 25-8, 25-22. MCS 1 on the left side versus Saipan Southern 1, point for it, the Manta Rays. But it was the Lady Knights who walked away winners in straight sets. MCS 3 in the far court surprises SIS 2 in 3 sets. What about SIS 2, you ask? Well, they fell to MCS 2 in the first set, bounced back in the second, but in the third it was the Manas slipping. They lost to MCS 2.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Buy one, get one free for the off-road adventure at Marianas Trekking. Come ride our side-by-sides at our best price ever and experience a great 90-minute trail ride. Rain or shine, hopefully rain. Book now at Marianas Trekking. Saturdays and Sundays by reservation. Call 323-8735 or book at marianastrekking.com.
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Goat's Gym, and today we're going to go over the cable lat pull down. Now what we want to remember with machine-based exercises, there's really no right or wrong way of doing it. There's multiple ways of executing the exercise. What you'll often see is lifters executing the exercise in this fashion, and instead of working the muscles of your upper back, you're just irritating the shoulder joint, which is what you don't want. All right, let's clean that up a little bit. Let's sit upright a little bit more. Okay, as you get a full stretch, bring it down with your elbows coming in. So in general, As you set up this way, you're going to be feeling majority of the impulse right here, which is your lats. Okay. He's getting a full stretch and he's getting a full squeeze in the bottom.
Here's our weather report today. It was 88 high, low 80, 73% humidity. Tomorrow, more of the same. South winds 10 to 15, high 89, low 79. Seas 4 to 6 feet with a rising swell due to Super Typhoon Minduli out there northwest of us. Sunrise 6 past 6, high tide in the morning, low tide after lunch, sunset at 8 past 6. That is your Monday's news, sports, and weather. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday, too.